Today is Friday, Parashat Re'eh. This Shabbat is coming Shabbat, and Sunday will be both days of Rosh Chodesh Elul, the beginning of the month of Elul. When there is a Shabbat that is also Rosh Chodesh, then the Musaf of Shabbat is going to be the Musaf of Rosh Chodesh and Shabbat. And there is a difference between the sanctity of Shabbat and the sanctity of Rosh Chodesh. Shabbat is something that has been decided from the time of Bereshit, from the beginning of creation. The seventh day is the day of Shabbat. Rosh Chodesh is something that is dependent on the Jewish people declaring that Rosh Chodesh is on that day. At the time of Beit HaMikdash, they used to have a testimony given by witnesses who saw the new moon, and their testimony was verified in court, and if it checked out as being valid, then yes, the court would decide and announce that it is the beginning of the new month, and that's when the month began. Because the cycle of the moon is 29 days and 12 hours and a certain amount of minutes, a certain number of minutes, then you cannot start Rosh Chodesh in the middle of a calendar date. So what we do is some of the months are 29 days, some of the months are 30 days. This Rosh Chodesh has 2 days, so the first day of Rosh Chodesh is actually the 30th day of the month that passed, and the next day is the first day of the following month. But both days are called Rosh Chodesh. So the date of Rosh Chodesh is dependent on Am Yisrael. Now we have a calendar that have been set by Hachamim that goes on for thousands of years, but still the date of Rosh Chodesh is decided by Am Yisrael. That's why we say Mekadesh Yisrael ve'azemanim. Am Yisrael has the power, or the Hashem gave Am Yisrael the authority to set when Rosh Chodesh begins. Shabbat is different. Shabbat is a time that is set from the time of the creation of the world, when it will happen. When we have these 2 days that converge into one, where we have both Shabbat and Rosh Chodesh, then both aspects come together. And this reminds me of a story brought in Hachamim, the Gemara, about this king who went to a faraway land to see how they judge people over there. And here comes to court, and he sees that there is a big argument between these two people. One says, I sold you the land, you found the treasure there, the treasure is yours. Because when I sold you the land, everything that's contained in it. And the other person, he says, no, I bought the land from you, I did not buy the treasure. And therefore I want to return this treasure box I found in the land. And they're both arguing, wanting to give the other. I'm going to give you back the treasure. The other one says, no, you keep it. Don't give it back to me. Amazing. Typically in a court of law, it's the other way, where everybody tries to pull his way, something that he feels coming to him. Here, everybody wants to give the other. So that ruler of that land said to both of them, do you have a son? Do you have a daughter? Well, let them get married. And then when they get married, they'll have that treasure chest, and that way, that's how we resolve the situation. Well, in a way, when Shabbat and Rosh Chodesh happen at the same time, there's a similar situation where Rosh Chodesh, Hashem tells us, you decide when Rosh Chodesh is. Shabbat, we say, Hashem, you decide when Shabbat is. But when Shabbat and Rosh Chodesh come, then this is a merging of both aspects, when Hashem and Am Yisrael have that day which is have both aspects in it. And truly, HaKadosh Baruch Hu and Am Yisrael, especially in the month of Elul, that has as an acronym, Ani ledodi vedolili. I am for my beloved, and my beloved is for me, represents that special love and commitment and loyalty of Am Yisrael and HaKadosh Baruch Hu to one another. Baruch Adonai le'olam, amen ve'amen. Shabbat shalom, Chodesh tov v'borach. And we already start announcing and wishing everyone a Shana Tova Metuka. May the coming year be a year full of many blessings. Amen. Keni Ratzon.